Okay, Islam.
The Moorish Symbol of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Symbol of America is empowered to make and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Symbol of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is the Assistant Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Symbol of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Symbol of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Symbol of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and the divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era in time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Symbol of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Symbol of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their heart and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Islam.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Thank you for that read. We'll now have the pledge of allegiance. This unity that we, the sons and the daughters of the ancient Moabite blood, have established upon these shores of northwestern Maxim, and this alien civilization shall be preserved at all costs through the bonds of Ali's holy and divine laws. If we violate these universal laws and principles by preferring a stranger before thy own sacred blood, may the flaming swords of our forefathers turn upon us. The wrath of Allah strike us down 7 times. We pledge our allegiance to Prophet Noble Drew Ali and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Time never was. Islam, Islam, Islam. I rise and give perfect praise to Father God Allah, the Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. For Allah definitely is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. Allah is in us all, so all honors to his religion, Islamism, the only religion that guides us to the understanding that Allah and man are one, that Allah is in us all, each and every one of us. And through this power we have the possibilities of Allah because we are a seed of Allah. We are a thought of Allah. We contain all the potencies of Allah. So when we give honors and praise to Allah, we giving honors and praise to ourselves. And that's why I love this religion of Islamism, the highest degree of spirituality. I talk to a lot of people that claim to be spiritual, but they have no knowledge of Allah inside themselves or no knowledge of themselves. So they still at a low degree. They still at a low degree of spirituality. And this right here, this religion, brings us back to the highest plane of life, the highest degree of spirituality. All honor to our noble prophet, the last prophet in these days and times. Our prophet came to us and he brought us a divine message that nobody brought us and still haven't brought us to this day. And the prophet brought us the message that we are from the ancient Moabites, the ancient ones, the aboriginals of the earth. He tied us to our ancestors to honor our mothers and our fathers, so our days on this earth land will be lengthened, that the Father God Allah has given us. We have dominion of Africa. We have a Circle 7 Quran. All honors to our Circle 7 Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guidance of his Father God Allah, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life. Know thyself in the genealogy of Jesus. That's very important to know that we come from the genealogy of Jesus. Because even the Bible said he had feet like brass, hair like wool. Islamism to that. And all honor to his forerunner, our harbinger, the harbinger, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I call him a Bey because he indeed came and enforced that law upon a Negro who was lost at that time. He told these Negroes that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. And he also told them that the only protection for the Negroes to have his own government. He prepared the way for us today to have this understanding in a time when you couldn't even stand on business the way we standing on business. The prophet said that in year 2000, the Moors going to come into their own. And they're going to sit the old Moors in the back and carry out his law. And that's what we came to do. Temple 84. So all honors to all the members, all our faithful members, all our new members in orientation, all the members that's looking to join it that don't even know that they are part and partial because they call themselves black and they think they're a part of the U.S. system or the U.S. corporation. All honors to them as well. All honors to our foes. For without our foes, a soldier will never know his strength. So you got to give honors to everything that is in your life. And you have to overcome these foes. So all honors to my five foes, the instability, inconstancy, the weakness, insufficiency of knowledge, and the misery. Because pain and happiness go together. But Allah brought us everything it takes to overcome that sorrow, that lower self. So all honors to these things. All honors to our Moroccan flag. 10,000 years old. The oldest flag on planet Earth. All red cherry flag. Cherry red, blood red flag with the 5-pointed green star to represent the 5 points or 5 principles known to man, highest principles known to man, I should say. And that's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And they go in order for a particular reason. You got to start off with the love before you get to the truth, before you get to the peace, the freedom, and the justice. And when those principles are not upheld, then justice must take its course. That's what our noble prophet taught us. So all honors to our five principles. All honors to our ancestors. All honors to our parents. All honors to our family. All honors to all the grand sheiks around the Mecca, around North America, Upper Egypt. All honors to our supreme grand sheik, Kenu Umar Bey. All honors to his supreme staff. We just landed another home temple because this last year we've been not having a home due to the slum landlord having the building shut down because of code violations. But everything you have to honor, because even in that was a learning lesson. Even in that was a wake-up call for me as a grand sheik to step up to the plate and help out our supreme staff. Because it's only one temple. Even though we Temple 84, it's only one temple. And there's only one prophet. So we all is one. All is well and all is one. So you have to honor these things, these trials and tribulations. Islam, because how you supposed to develop strength if you ain't never exercised? Exercise is painful. So how honest to these things, Islam? As you know, special announcement, the brother Cameron Nawusu Bey was kidnapped. I still don't get all the details on the kidnapping, the false imprisonment that went down. It's so crazy because we just went through this in Wednesday civic class the other week when we broke down exactly what false imprisonment and false arrest really was. And if you're not careful in this jurisdiction of the United States, they will falsely arrest you, falsely imprison you. But the prophet said, talk with an intelligent tone, and you will get a favorable reply. For they're glad to see him bring us out of darkness into the marvelous light. So you always gotta take heed to what the prophets say when you're dealing with these Europeans, because they colonized us. Islam, these people are not here to protect you. The Declaration of Independence say all men are born equal and free. And anytime a government oppresses the people have the right to overthrow the government. Islam, so don't expect these Europeans to be your friend. You got to know what you're talking about, and you got to talk with intelligent tone. You can't come at them left-handed because they will kill you. And I'm just keeping it funky. Islam. So as news develop, I'll keep us up top, but we have to take security measures. Islam. Everybody should have knowledge of how to file a habeas corpus, how to write an affidavit of special appearance from scratch. Islam, even if you're in a jail cell, you can write it on a napkin, as I told you in the class, civic class. You can write an affidavit on a napkin. You can get your cellie to witness it. Islam, you have to know how to move in law, so you can defend yourself legally. Grand Sheik can't save you. No, but Ali cannot save you. Jesus can't save you. You have to save yourself. And that's why we here to form us a body politic, so we can end these abuses that we facing. Now, I just got here to the temple. Give me 1 second, Islam, so I can go get on this elevator. Islam. All rise for the Moorish American prayer. Face the east, heels touching, feet at a 90 degree. Spread your wings, angels. 5 to the left and 2 to the right. Repeat after me. The Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. You can now be seated, Moors. Islam, Islam, Islam. All honors to all the faithful members for making your meeting promptly. Islam. Pardon self, Grand Sheik. Had some late business at that barbershop. Islam. But speaking on the kidnapping, Islam. My black slow. One second. See, the noble prophet brought us a message, and that message is called the everlasting gospel. Name like me. Part so. Put some light on the situation. And that's what the noble prophet brought us. He brought us the light. That's why it's so important to have that status corrected. Because you never know when you're going to need it. And that's why it's so important to have your mind corrected and study them legalese day and night, not just on civic class. If you want that knowledge, you're going to have to work for it. You're not going to be able to just say I'm a Moorish American and then escape the oppression of the colonizer. It don't work that way. You have to talk with intelligent tone. Islam, and when I mean intelligent tone, you got to know what you're talking about. The noble prophet already spoke on these things. I'm going to go into a reading from the prophet. This come out of your Moorish literature. The prophet made a plea to us. This come out your Moorish literature, article number 4. The prophet plea to the nation. Friday, March 1st, 1929. So we still in the same month of time. Time haven't changed. Islam. The prophet said this, Moors. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God, Allah, alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I'm calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. For without a free national name without a descent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from the true, this is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam. The prophet spoke on a national constitution, a national republic. He spoke on us being national citizens. So when they run your name, they pull you over. How are you going to present yourself? What are you going to say out your mouth? When they say, hey, Mr. Danny Murray, you know you've been going 55 and 50. Can we search your vehicle? Do you have any weapons? Islam, we have to learn how to answer like the prophet said. He said this. He said, look, I know all true American citizens are identified by their national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. So the prophet speaking on how you should answer and apply the free national constitution. That's why we went through civic class, so you can understand your constitutional rights when you pulled over. First of all, when you pulled over, what should they have? A warrant. Islam, it has to be an arrest warrant to arrest you, to stop you, and to search your name, ask you for ID. They must have a search warrant for that, signed by a competent judge. It has to be signed by a competent judge, not just a municipal administrative officer, meaning your state judges. It has to be an Article 3 judge, and it had to go through certain procedures. It had to be attached with an affidavit. This is what I mean by intelligent tone. See, a tone is a vibration, boy. It ain't how you sound. It's what you know. It's the vibration you vibing on, the frequency you on, plane of life that you on. So with that type of understanding, only thing you should have to present to these people is a question with a question, Islam. Your first question to the officer should be, did you take an oath to the Constitution? Because if you took an oath to the Constitution, then you should know the 4th Amendment applies to this situation right here. You don't have an arrest warrant nor a search warrant. Now, I don't know the details of the brother kidnapping, Islam, but I know my experiences. So I'm just speaking from experience. Now let's look at the definition of a kidnapping. Why Grand Sheik call it a kidnapping? Why you don't just say the Lord just got apprehended? Because I'm speaking in intelligent tone, Morris. I make no mistakes, Islam. I make mistakes, but I ain't making no mistake when I speak and use certain words. I definitely make mistakes, but not today, Islam. So let's look at the definition of kidnapping out of Black's Law Dictionary. Can y'all hear me out there okay?
You hear me?
Let me know if y'all can't hear me. Y'all know how Telegram get on with me.
It's on. Can you hear me?
Okay, a kidnapping. This comes out of your Black's Law Dictionary. Kidnapping. At common law, the forcible abduction or stealing and carrying away of a person from own country to another. So what is a country? All Moors here been in civic class. What is a country? Who can answer that? Danny Murray Bay.
Nation.
You said a nation.
Nation. A group
Islam,
of
a
people have come
government.
together. A government.
Islam. Indeed, it's a government. A nation, a state, a political body. That's a country. So anytime you took from your jurisdiction to another jurisdiction by force, then you have been kidnapped. I'm going to continue reading. The unlawful seizure and removal of a person from own country or state against his will. In American law, the intent to send the victim out of the country does not constitute a necessary part of the offense. The unlawful taking and carrying away of a human being by force of fraud or threats or intimidation and against his will being the essential elements. That's followed by a citation. At common law, kidnapping was a misdemeanor. But under modern statutes, such crime is a felony. 18 U.S.C. 8, subsection 1201. Islam. So it says that in American law, the unlawful taking and carrying away of a human being by force or fraud or threats or intimidation against his will is the essential elements of a kidnapping. So when they lock you up for an artificial crime, that's fraud, Morris. That constitutes fraud. And fraud got no, the discovery of fraud has no statute of limitation. Okay? How do they fraud the Morris? Because they hold you to an artificial crime. They saying you committed a crime without an injured party. That's a victimless crime. On top of that, it's a warrantless arrest. So that's two elements. Victimless crime and warrantless arrest constitute fraud. I'm going to continue reading. A person is guilty of kidnapping if he unlawfully removes another from his place of residence or business or a substantial distance from the vicinity where he is found, or if he unlawfully confines another for a substantial period in a place of isolation with any of the following purposes. A, to hold for ransom or reward or as a shield or hostage. Or B, to facilitate commission of any felony or flight thereafter. Or C, to inflict bodily injury on or to terrorize the victim or another. Or D, to interfere with the performance of any governmental or political function. Islam, this is all in definition of kidnapping. See, it ain't got nothing to do with what we've been trained. Kidnapping is like a robbery. Anytime you've been kidnapped, unlawfully confined for a substantial period of time, and held for ransom or reward, that's what the bail is. You've been held till you pay bail. Now, y'all might remember, I went through a class between the difference between a bail and a bond. They're not the same. A bond is a piece of paper. A bond is your birth certificate. A bond is a letter of credit. A bond is an instrument that you submit to get credit for whatever you're trying to get for it. That's a bond. A bail is a cash deposit. Before they initiated the bail bond system, you was released on a habeas corpus. You was never arrested and put in jail until found guilty. This is cruel and unusual punishment. When you arrested, you are put in jail. That's a punishment. You're not supposed to be punished until you at least found guilty. Islam. So this is why I call it a kidnapping. It's deeper than just a false imprisonment because it's based in fraud. A false imprisonment would be like without malice. It'll be something that's not really done intentionally. You have to understand genocide is being committed on us. And I'm not talking about killing us. Let's go to the definition of genocide. Who got that copy of their Black Law? Who want to volunteer to read the definition of genocide? No volunteers? Islam. Genocide, Genocide.
Islam. My fourth edition doesn't have genocide.
Islam, I can barely hear you, man.
Islam, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Barely. It's very, very low.
My fourth edition doesn't have genocide. Interesting.
It's not, you don't see the genocide in them. Yeah, that's the sixth edition don't have it either. I'm going to go into the Google. Or the etymology dictionary, I should say. That's the second source. Anytime you don't see it in Black's Law, immediately go to etymon before you go to Google. Go to etymology first. Okay. Yeah, this don't really give a good definition of etymology. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it gives a little definition. Okay, let's go to genocide. Genocide is a noun. In 1944, apparently coined by Polish-born U.S. jurist Raphael Lemkin in his work Axis Rule in Occupied Europe, page 19, in reference to Nazi extermination of Jews, literally killing a tribe, from Greek genos, which means race and kind, from Proto-Indo-European root gene, to give birth, to beget, with derivatives referring to procreation and familial and tribal groups. Side means a killing. The proper formation would be genticide. Generally speaking, genocide does not necessarily mean the immediate destruction of a nation, except when accomplished by mass killings of all members of a nation. It is intended rather to signify a coordinated plan of different actions aimed at the destruction of essential foundations of the life of national groups, with the aim of annihilating the groups themselves. Lemkin. And earlier, in a similar sense, was popelicide. From French popelicide by 1792, a word from the Revolution. This was taken into German, as in Volkamo Schelenden, if I'm pronouncing that correct, genocidal, which was English 1893 as folk murdering. Ethnocide is attested from 1974 in English. So genocide, we can see here, is a compounded word. Gene and side. You have to understand that. They aiming at a certain genetic, a gene. What gene they aiming at? The ancient Moabites. It don't just mean they killing us. It means a coordinated plan against us. It could mean something like the Holocaust of a mass killing, but it could mean just holding us to artificial crime, kidnapping us, forcing us into servitude. On the 13th Amendment, it says that involuntary servitude is illegal except for the punishment of a crime. So then they made an artificial crime to force you into servitude. A crime consists of an injured party. If there's no injured party, it's no case. It's no crime committed. If there's no injured property or person. So we have the genealogy of Jesus, and they know this. So that's why they commit genocide on the people with the genealogy of Jesus, the same way they crucified Jesus. See, history has not changed itself. Jesus was held to servitude. Jesus was unlawfully arrested. Even Paul was. Even his disciples. If you go to the book of Acts, Paul was unlawfully arrested. And he said, I had to directly face my accuser. So we got to educate ourselves and know what's going on. It's an organized plan against you. You are a target. It don't matter if you put on a fez on your head or not. You a target without one on. When you walk out that door, it get real. We can say what we want in this temple, but the true test is when we walk out the temple. Now I want to speak on the Holy Quran. I want to go to the chapter on the insufficiency of knowledge. Islam, chapter 43, the insufficiency of knowledge, one of the five foes of man. Because the Holy Bible says that our people will perish from the insufficiency of knowledge, from the lack of knowledge. So what is this insufficiency that's a devil upon us? Because with knowledge comes power. And with the proper knowledge, you can talk with intelligent tone. Knowledge brings confidence. See, unknown brings fear. It's fear in the unknown. So if you don't know something, you're going to be scared. You're going to have a sense of fear about it because you don't know. And you will never know everything. But one thing you have to know is thyself. Because once you know thyself, you know you the law. And ignorance in the law is no excuse, nor a defense. And that's case law. That's out of my book called Our Self-Law. When we say our self-law, what are we saying? We say that I am the law. I self am law. I self-Lord. I'm the self-Lord ADAP master. This what the acronyms of Islam breaks down to. So I'm going to go into the holy instructions from the Prophet on the insufficiency of knowledge. Verse 1 says this: if there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything within the reach of man that is worthy of praise, is it not knowledge? And yet, who is it that attained it? So that's a question it asks you, proposes you two questions up top. If it's anything in the world worth praising, if anything worth reaching in life, is it not knowledge? See, we glorify the wrong things. See, Mars, when you miss the meetings I know what you're doing throughout your week. You done turned back to the devil. You done turned back to the insufficiency of knowledge. It's obvious. It's obvious, more. Because anybody who's chasing after this knowledge that knows it's the greatest thing he can attain, you here on Friday night. You here for Sunday school in your civic class on Wednesday. And you studying when you ain't in here. Because you know this is the greatest thing you worth chasing. Ain't chasing them skins. Ain't chasing them ends. It's the knowledge. That's what the power is. So you can lie to grand Sheik, but you ain't gonna lie to yourself. Islam. Because when you pulled over and when you going through these situations, if you don't got the proper knowledge, it's gonna come out. It's gonna show, Morris. Let's continue reading. Islam. Verse 2 says this. The statesman proclaimed that he had it. The ruler of the people claimeth the praise of it, but findeth the subject that he possessed. Find the subject that he possessed. Everybody claim they got a piece of this knowledge. They love the knowledge. They proclaim it. But what else? What subject matter is you knowledgeable on? Islam, because you can't be know it all. But which subject do you have the knowledge on? Number 3, verse 3 says this. Evil is not a requisite to man, neither can vice be necessary to be tolerated. Yet how many evils are permitted by the connivance of the laws? How many crimes committed by the decrees of the council? Isn't it? So it's speaking to the rulers and the rich. It's speaking to the government, the council members. How many evils are they committed? Yet they claim they have the knowledge. The knowledge is Allah. The truth is Allah. The holy breath is Allah. How many evils are these people committing on us? Before we start to know that we have to fix this insufficiency of knowledge that we have so we can fight back on these people because they're taking advantage of our ignorance, Morris. They're taking advantage of our ignorance. That's what this genocide is about. Evil is not a requisite to man. Yet people act like they got to be evil to prevail against us. Vice means crime. No crime can be necessary to be tolerated. These crimes against humanity that they're causing against us, the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation, this is not to be tolerated, Morris. We the goddess of the nation. We the ones have to attain this knowledge and apply, because knowledge got to be applied. Islam, knowledge has to be applied. All knowledge is applicable. So who's going to tolerate this? Who's going to step up to the platform and stop these injustices that happen to us? It's us, Mo. Don't look around. Because I looked around. I done been state to state, Mo, looking for a me. And I couldn't find me nowhere. I couldn't find nobody who's stepping up to the table outside this organization. Man. So don't look around. Because this is one of your devils. Insufficiency of knowledge is in you and me and all of us. That's why we need steady members here. Because anytime a more kidnapped, lift me down there. Release that more from that prison. The more supposed to know proper instructions. Call my counsel. Call the muftis when you're on the side of the road. We went over this weeks ago when we went through the consular notification manual. How many remember that? The consular notification manual. You got to study that. Don't just present these things just so you can say, yeah, I say it. No, you study these things constantly, Mo. Right? No tone. So when it happens to you, you know what to do. I'm a foreign national. You supposed to notify my monthly. You don't read me no Miranda rights. You supposed to read me my consulate rights. Islam. But what the insufficiency of knowledge, more we doomed. I'm gonna continue reading. Verse 4 says this: be wise, O ruler, and learn. But be wise, O ruler. You notice that it says the O ruler. They call you the O ruler, O man, because we have that O blood in us. Islam. If you look at the stats, it says the most people in the world with the O blood type is North America. 43% of North Americans have the O blood type. O ruler, O man, Islam. O thou that art to command the nations. One crime authorized by thee is worse than the escape of 10 from punishment. Moors. This is what the prophet telling us. This is the instructions. This ain't, see, every title starts off and says the holy instructions from the prophet. So this is the instructions from your prophet telling you to be wise. Because you the God of the nation. You the one who's going to command these nations. You think they not waiting on us? I can show you speeches where they say they're waiting on the North Americans to rise up out there in South Africa. Julius Malema. I can show you the House resolutions they made right here in North America. Europeans say they're waiting on the Moorish Americans to step up as a government and save their nation. Islam, I'm going to continue reading. Verse 5. It says this: when the people are numerous, when thy sons increase about thy table, sendest thou them not out to slay the innocent and to fall before the sword of him whom they have not offended. See, this is what the European doing to us. They slaying the innocent. They slaying the innocent, Mo. But see, Allah got a plan for them. See, that's why their system is crashing, Mo. This is why the currency reset, the bankruptcies, and all the things that's happening towards them. It's all because you can't escape the wrath of Allah. You can injure the innocent, but you're going to have to pay that price. Slaying the innocent is worse than what it's saying is. It said that slaying the innocent or authorizing one crime is worse than letting 10 escape from punishment. So who's authorizing these crimes against us? Is it not the rulers and the rich? Islam? Continue reading. Verse 6. If the objects of thy desire demanded the lives of 1,000, sayest thou not, I will have it? Question mark. So if your desire, what you want, the object of your desire costs you to take out 1,000 lives more, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not the way to go. You don't have to make somebody small to make yourself big. You don't have to tear down a nation to have a piece of the pie. And that's what the Europeans don't understand. That's what the colonizers don't understand, bro. But they don't understand this one day, whether they like it or not. They're going to get a clear understanding on this. Their time is up, says our prophet. I'm going to continue reading. Surely thou forgettest that he who created thee created also these, and that their blood is rich as thine. So they can slay us all they want to, Mo. But they done forgot something. The same person who created them created us, Mo. Allah loves us all, Mo. Verse 7. Sayest thou that justice cannot be executed without wrong? Surely thine own words condemn thee. Ask a question, my see, these is questions. Sayest thou justice cannot be executed without wrong? See, these artificial crimes they commit, they don't have to do that to administer justice. I hear people saying, well, if your government don't take over, then how is justice going to be administered on the streets? What are we going to do without police? You know what my answer is? We're going to be in peace, boy. We're going to finally be in peace. Because the police is the ops. The politicians is the real criminals. The ones that made these Christian black codes against us. These Christian black codes are still being enforced on us 200 years after the fact. Now they call them state codes. I'm furious, Mo. Because when they take one of ours, Mo, they taking me, Mo. When they grab one of you up, Mo, they grabbing me up. I want to go do something about it, Mo. But my hands is tied. Islam? This is serious, Mo. This happens every day to us. And it can be any one of us. It can be your nephew. It can be your daddy. It can be your mama. It can be anybody. Especially the men. We targets. I've been a target since I was 17. I've been in and out of this jail cells, Mo. So I got a vendetta for this, Mo. I got a chip on my shoulder about this one, Mo. And that's why Allah made me a soldier. Islam? I'm going to continue reading. Verse 8 says, thou who flatterest with false hopes the criminal, that he may confess his guilt, art not thou unto him a criminal? Or art thou guiltless because he cannot punish it? Question mark. Question mark, Mo. That's something we got to ask ourselves. That's something I asked the judge in court, Mo. He asked me in court, he said, am I wrong for enforcing the law that the people believe in? I said, yeah, you a criminal. You are a criminal. Islam, because just because you can't be punished right now, don't mean that the armor of Allah, the punishment of Allah is weak. Just because his punishment may be delayed on you, don't think he weak at your evil doings. So when they put you in that interrogation room and they interview you, what they call an interview, and get you to confess to these false artificial crimes, Mo, they committing the crime. They the criminal. This is the Inquisition, Mo. That's what the Inquisition did, made us confess. That first 48 you see, Mo, that's illegal. First 48 is illegal, Mo. You got people down here telling on themselves. If it's a crime committed, let the witness step up and file a claim. That's illegal, Mo, to have somebody in interrogation room. That's the Spanish Inquisition. That's the Moorish Inquisition, Mo. That's illegal. That's a crime against humanity. But since we've been born in slavery, we can't recognize these things. I'm going to continue reading. Verse 9 says this: when thou commandest to the torture him who is but suspected of ill, there is thou to remember that you mayest wrap the innocent. Verse 10, is thy purpose answered by the event? Question mark. Is thy soul satisfied with his confession? Pain will enforce him to say what is not. That's easy what it is. And anguish have caused innocent to accuse herself. That's wrong. You got 99% conviction rates. How, Mo? Because the torture of the county jail. Who want to sit in jail when I can plead out guilty and I can go home on probation? It's not. Anybody would confess to anything, Mo, to get out of that torture. See, you got to understand what's going on in this spiritual warfare against us, Mo. They know what they doing. They arts of torture. When they put your hands behind your back, Mo, that's degrading you as a human being. That's an old Chinese strategy. Just putting your hands behind your back, Mo. It's embarrassing. When they got you on the side of the road, car driving past you, Mo, looking at you being arrested and abducted. I be wanting to stop for my brothers. But it ain't my fight right now. Not now, not yet. But the day gonna come, Mo, when we gonna stop these abuses. Islam, continue reading. Verse 11 says this, that thou mayest not kill him without cause, that does worse than kill him, that thou mayest prove if he be guilty, thou destroyest him innocent. Islam, you can't just kill people without no cause. That's worse than killing him at all. If a person is guilty with his sin, then prove him guilty. You would destroy his innocence. But see, they can't prove us guilty, so they got to torture you to confess your own guilt with a plea deal. That's why the whole controversy about Gunna and Young Thug going on. And everybody's saying, okay, Gunna a snitch because he took a plea deal. But how many brothers took plea deals? I know I have. I confessed guilt, even I knew I wasn't guilty. So I can go home. Who want to be in there eating slop sandwiches and have to use the bathroom next to another grown man watching you? Who want to be away from their family and loved ones? Nobody planned on getting arrested when you walk out that door, bro. You don't wake up and say, okay, today I'm ready to go to jail. But it happens. Islam, it comes like a thief in the night, bro. And they don't need no crime. They can make up one. I used to call it traveling while black. Islam, traveling while black will get you arrested. That's why we gotta learn this law, Mo. As much as possible. It's not a joke. It's not something just to get off the hook with. It's for survival. I'm going to continue reading Islam. Verse 12 says this, O blindness to all truth, O insufficiency of the wisdom of the wise. No, when thy judge shall bid thee account for this, thou shalt wish 10,000 guilty to have gone free, rather than one innocent to stand forth against thee, Mo. It says to the judges, you got to judge. See, these judges got to judge too. And when they have to account for their actions, when their judgment day come, it'd have been better for them to let 10,000 guilty men free than to punish one innocent man, Mo. You punishing the innocent. There's blood on your hand. Trust me, that day is coming, Mo. Verse 13. Insufficient as thou art to the maintenance of justice, how shalt thou arrive at the knowledge of truth? How shalt thou ascend to the footstep of her throne? How you gonna get to Lady Justice with this insufficiency inside you? Verse 14. As the owl is blinded by the radiance of the sun, so shall the brightness of her countenance dazzle thee in thy approaches. See,
Everybody know the owl stands for wisdom. But yet the owl is blinded by the sun. That's a metaphor for know-it-all that don't know nothing at all. Islam, because when that light comes, it still blind you. So you always gotta, what I say, be optimistic. You always have to have an open mind. See, these judges and these prosecutors, they think they got it figured out, but the prophet said their own bad plan is going to bring wrath upon their head like the sword of old Democracy had. Islam, they own bad plan. See, this is their plan, and you see it falling apart. They think they know it all. They think they're smarter than us. They have this audacity, this entitlement over us, Mo. But their day is coming to an end. I'm telling you, Mo. I'm living witness. Their day is coming to an end. Islam, verse 15. If thou wouldest mount unto her throne, first bow thyself at her footstool. If thou wouldest arrive at the goddess of her, first inform thyself of thy own ignorance. Islam. So they're speaking to these judges, these politicians, these bar members. If they want the truth, if they want the knowledge, if they want the true light, because see, they go in these secret rooms, they put on this fez like we do, Mo, and they act like they getting the light. I'm talking about these judges, these bar members. See, when you step in the courtroom with this fez, they know exactly what it is. It's the crown of knowledge. When you put that turban on, they know exactly what that represents. See, they're going to have to sit at our feet one day, Mo. They're going to have to sit at our feet. And they're going to have to inform themselves that they don't know it all. The judge told me in federal court in Harris County, he said this: how many years of law school have you had, young man? I said 0 at that time. Islam. He looked at the state attorney who I was going against and suing, and he said, how many years of law school have you had? He said 3 years was a standard law school. He said, man, he shook his head. Old white man, I'll never forget him. He shook his head. He said, man, y'all couldn't even put a dent in this young man lawsuit against y'all. You couldn't put a dent. He said a dent, no, a dent. Then he looked at me and said, hey, Abraham Lincoln had a 3rd grade education. Islam. So don't think you ain't obtaining the true knowledge here. Don't think when you study this law that it's not applicable. Don't think that these lawyers and politicians know more than you, because they don't. Boy, I sat in school with these law students. I seen the curriculum. They don't get no etymology. They don't get legalese. They don't get no common law. They don't get no treaty study. They don't get no constitutional study. And this is the supreme law of the land, Mo. They're going to have to sit at our footstool, Mo. They're going to have to sit at the feet of the sheiks. I promise you that. I'm going to continue reading. 16 says this: more worth is she than pearls. Therefore seek her carefully. The emerald and the sapphire and the ruby are as dirt beneath her feet. Therefore pursue her manfully. It's this knowledge we talking about. We talking about knowledge described as feminine energy, a woman. You can't buy this, Mo. Ain't no rubies and pearls and nothing. That's dirt compared to knowledge. Pearls and that ain't nothing. What is you really chasing? Is it not the light? Verse 17 says this: the way to her is labor. The way to her is labor. The way to her is labor, Moors. it ain't gonna fall in your lap. You're gonna have to work day in and day out, Mo. You're gonna have to do definition after definition after definition after definition, Mo. You're not gonna get it by listening. Man knows not from being told. You only gonna get it from working. That's the way to her. It's labor. Continue reading. The way to her is labor. Attention is the pilot that must conduct thee into her port. Attention, Mo. You're going to have to pay attention. Knowledge is not free. Freedom ain't free. It comes with a cost. And the cost is your time and your attention, Mo. So when you ain't making these meetings and you skipping class, Mo, I know what you're doing. You can't fool old Grand Sheik. You're not paying attention. So I know you're going to have an insufficiency in you because you done missed a valuable lesson. Continue reading. But worry not in the way, for when thou art arrived at her, the toil shall be to thee for pleasure. So don't get weary. Man, Grand Sheik say do 100 definitions. Don't get weary on the way to her, to that knowledge. Because once you get to it, woo, you're going to love it. You're going to love working for it. You're going to love looking up words like Grand Sheik do. I look up words every day, Mo. I love it. It's the greatest joy I ever had in my life, Mo. It changed my life. Do you understand me? I was just sitting in a courtroom and not know nothing. I looked at that European judge. I say, man, I'm innocent. He said, man, we can't beat this case. That's what the European told me. Now I'm so happy I had this knowledge. And I don't know it all, but I know enough to defend myself a little bit. Islam. Verse 18 says this. Say not unto thyself, behold, truth breedeth hatred. Truth breedeth hatred, and I will avoid it. Dissimulation raises friends, and I will follow it. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Whoo! That's my favorite line. That's my favorite line. Islam. It says, don't ever say to yourself that it's better to flatter people than tell them the truth. It's better to gain enemies by the truth than friends by flattery. It's better to gain enemies by the truth than friends by flattery. You see a person with a lot of friends, that's a lying son of a gun. See, the realest people don't have that many friends. Islam, the realest people don't have it because they keep it real. They not considered friendly to people who like beautiful lies. When you see Grand Sheik, all these people talking Grand Sheik, you know why? Because Grand Sheik is giving these people the ugly truth. And they all come back. Because this is the only soul foundation that you can count on. I got people who is my enemy, Mo, and trying to act like my friend. Trying to come back in the inbox. Share my music again. And all that, Mo. I know the truth. Islam, I'm going to continue reading. Verse 19 says this. Naturally doeth man desire the truth. Yet when it is before him, he will not apprehend it. And if it force itself upon him, he is not offended at it. Verse 20 says, the fault is not in truth, for that is, I can't pronounce that word, amiable. Let me read that again. Verse 20. The fault is not in truth, for that is amiable. but the weakness of man beareth not his splendor. So don't fault the truth for people hating you or not liking you. The fault is not in the truth, for that is amiable. Amiable means friendly.
Amiable.
Say that again. Amiable.
Amiable.
Amiable. Amiable. Amiable. So amiable means friendly. So the truth is not the fault. It's friendly. It's the weakness in their mind. They can't handle the truth. Just like that old movie say. He say, would you tell me the truth? He said, you can't handle the truth. Y'all remember that old movie? That was an old one. I'm showing my age on that. He said, you can't handle the truth. See, that's that weakness. That's that devil in the people. They can't handle the truth. So they fault you for telling the truth. But the truth is fine. The truth is here to set you free. Verse 21 says this. Wouldest thou sing thy insufficiency more plainly? View at thy devotions. Wouldest thou see thy insufficiency more plainly? View at thy devotions.
Amen.
Islam, if you want to see somebody, if you want to know if a person has an insufficiency of knowledge, just look what they devote their time to. If they're not devoting their time to obtaining knowledge, you already can observe that they are insufficient. It's plain to see. It's plain to see. They're not devoted to the knowledge. So if you're not devoted to the knowledge, what are you devoted to? Watching a good movie or reading a good book? Continue reading. To what end was religion instituted? But to teach thee thy infirmities, to remind thee of thy weakness, to show thee that from heaven alone art thou to hope for good. This is why we have religion. This is why we had a religion in Islam. This is why religion was instituted, to show you what you miss and show you where you're weak at. Verse 22 says this. Do it not remind thee that thou art dust? Do it not tell thee that thou art ashes? And behold, repentance is not frailty. 23 says this. When thou givest an oath, when thou swearest thou wilt not deceive, behold, it spread of shame upon thy face and upon the face of him that received it. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. 4:24 says this. He that heareth, pardon, sir. 24 says this. The shorter follies are, the better. Say not therefore to thyself, I will play the fool by halves. So once you recognize this foolish and folliness inside yourself, don't play with it. Don't be like Claudius and Juliet, who rode on that boat until they sunk into the cares of the world. And that watery grave they fell in. Don't play the fool by the halves. Either you're going to be on the light or the dark. You can't play the middle. You can't leave the temple and then go back out and be a fool with the foolish black people again. You don't work like that. You're going to get, a storm going to come and you're going to sink. Just like Julius and Claudiet did. You can't play the fool by the halves, bro. You can't go out here and turn your back against the light. See, once you get this light, you are accountable for your actions now. So when you go back into ignorance, it's going to be 10 times worse. That's why we say the wrath of Allah, the flaming swords of our forefathers, strike us down 7 times. What you think it's talking about? See, the Moors are your sacred bloodline. It's your sacred kindred. And then you go out here with these people who call themselves black, and then you play ignorant with them like you don't know better. You're going to be punished even worse than a person that was just really a fool. See, Allah protect fools, but he don't protect nobody who got the light and play the fool by the halves. You lose your protection. You want to go back into your old ways. That's the foolish side of you. You can't play the middle. You can't play the fence in this more science. This what it said in the other chapter, chapter 17 says, the best things in the hands of a fool will lead to his destruction. This is the best thing you ever can have. But if you play the fool by the house, it will destroy you, Mo. Islam can uplift you or it can destroy you, Mo. I done seen it happen. I done seen it happen. I done seen people leave this temple and be destroyed. Destroyed, Mo. I mean, stuck in slavery. Can't get out of it. Lost in their mind. Anxiety attack them, everything. I guarantee it. I can show you their profiles. You can see it for yourself. They destroyed. I'm talking from experience. Continue reading. 25. He that heareth his own faults with patience shall reprove another with boldness. So a person that hear his own faults with patience can reprove another with boldness. Once you can tell yourself and be honest with yourself of your faults and your shortcomings and your foolish ways, then you will start to have more boldness to reprove all the other follies that you have. 26 says, he that give a denial with reason shall suffer repulse with moderation. 27 says, if thou art suspected, answer with freedom. Whom should suspicion affright except the guilty? When you question, you can't answer with freedom, that means you're guilty. See, the truth don't offend nobody but the guilty. Islam 28 says this: the tender of hearts is turned from his purpose by supplications. The proud is rendered more obstinate by entreaty. The sense of thine insufficiency commandeth thee to hear, but to be just, thou must hear without passions. Islam, you can never get the truth if you hear with emotion. You got to strip the passion and emotion away, because that's the tender of your heart. That's that weakness of man. You got to take that away to hear the truth. Because if you never, ever, ever, ever hear the truth, you can never be just. You can never be fair. Because your passions will lead you to destruction. That's in the chapter of Beware, young man. Beware to the young mind. So we have to overcome this foe of insufficiency. But we not the only ones. See, the devil got these Europeans too. He got them with an insufficiency as well. See, they think they like that wise owl. But see, we like that sun. We like that radiance of light. We the revealers of light. They the concealers of light. And they done concealed the light so long that they don't even know the light no more. They can't even interpret the Bible no more. They done lost all sense of understanding because they too caught in their emotion. They don't want to hear you. It's just like when you're trying to talk to your parent, tell them something because you're younger. They don't want to hear you because they only hearing with emotion. Islam, they hearing with emotion. And they don't understand that same passion, emotion, make you a slave. You a slave to your own passion. And that's why many of our people have an insufficient knowledge and perish from the lack of knowledge. Now I'm going to another reading from the Prophet Moses Ali. Let me get some water right there. Islam. Why the water's so cold? Okay, so I want to read a speech from the Prophet. See, the Prophet left us warnings because that was his duty. So what is the duty of the Prophet? So I want to go to one of my favorite speeches, Caveat Emptor. And it's out of your Moore's literature. Article 14. The Prophet said Bible here, Caveat Emptor. This was also published March 1st, 1929. The Prophet said this: Moors are men, and men means the mind. Moors are men, upright. Upright means justice. Independent. Independent means sovereign. And fearless. Because see, once you embody this more science, it takes fear because it gives you knowledge of self. It's fear in the unknown. But once you know better, you can do better because now you have knowledge. Now you're not fearful. Fearless means you lose the fear. Continue reading. Who care for their loved ones. See, I care for you, Mormons. I really care for you more. Something happen to y'all more, I'll be the first to bust my gun for you. I guarantee you. Because you my family. I love my immediate family as well. As long as I love my loved ones. So when we see a Moor get abducted and kidnapped, I love that Moor. I don't gotta like him all the time, but I love him because he's my brother. You don't gotta do nothing special for me to love you. You a faithful member, that means you love the prophet. And if you love the prophet like I love the prophet, then we love each other. Because I love my prophet. I love my prophet, man. I love him like I love myself sometimes. Islam, I'm going to continue reading. Moors are men, upright, independent, and fearless, who care for their loved ones and follow the prophet to a destiny which is neither uncertain nor unknown. See, that's why if you know the destiny where we going, if you truly a follower of the prophet, you his disciple, there's no need to have fear. Because where we going is not unknown. We're going to salvation through Allah and unity. I'm going to continue reading. They are fortified by the impregnable doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So you got to embody this doctrine, this impregnable doctrine that's built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. See, your 5 principles is what you stand on to build your character up. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Continue reading. It is therefore folly at its greatest height for smelly culprits with their insidious plans to invade such realm. See, these Europeans are folly. These colonizers are folly. They smelly culprits. Islam, with these insidious plans they have, they think they got it all figured out. They think they're invading us. But listen what the prophet said about this. They try and try, but their own bad planning brings down wrath upon their heads, like the sword old Democles had. Intrigued and scurrilous cunnings find a difficult path to travel within the ranks of the Moors. This is so because the Moorish movement has been well planned by the Prophet Noble True Ali, whose latent powers are abundant, unknown, and may be called into action as a matter of defense at any moment, Moors. Once you really embody this, when you're in trouble, you're gonna see the prophet. You ever had a dream about Prophet Noble Drew Ali? When you get your dream, tell me. When you dream about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, let me know the instructions he gave you. See, it says that these European colonizers are trying. They trying to come up with plan after plan to keep their foot on our necks. But it's their own planning is bringing down the wrath upon them from Allah. Just like the story in the Bible about Democles. It said intrigue and scurrilous cunnings find a difficult path to travel within the ranks of the Moors. See, it's Moors that's going to come in here with us, Moors. Intrigue and scurrilous. But they trying to con us. and they think they can travel on the same level we on. So you can't get up to an 8-up level if you don't have a clean and moral character. You can't embody the truth. Allah will put a veil over your eyes and ears. You would not understand this. You would not get the knowledge. You think because you can throw on the fez on your head, you're going to get it like we do? Nope. Nope. You're not going to get it. Because Allah, according to the Prophet Muhammad Quran, the unbelievers act like they believers. They mock us behind our backs. They come in our face and say, yeah, we believe in Allah. We believe in the truth and the light and know what you are leading. But when they get with their friends, they mocking you and ridiculing you, talking behind your back. Oh, that more crazy. You don't know what they talking about. And they think they on the same level. See, I had to learn that to kind of distance myself from even new ones coming in. It's nothing personal. But when you travel on the same, a certain level, a certain frequency of knowledge, a person to get up on you and think they on your level, they think they can be the grand sheik. Just because you make it look so easy. They think they can be a faithful member. Because you make it look so easy. You making your meetings every Friday and reading your word, studying. Man, I can do that. That's easy. It ain't easy. Making these meetings every week. Dedicating your time, paying attention, staying attentive, going back and studying. See, you on a different level now. You look like your friends. Yeah, we all look alike, but we are not on the same rank. We on different levels. The Europeans think they on our level. They think they above us. They have audacity. But they not, Mo. I'm going to continue reading. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Prophet Noble Drew Ali knows the people within his ranks who are interested. See, the prophet knows. Because he planning his movement out. Why you think he got this constitution, bylaws, Circle 7, Quran, and all this? See, he know how to weave out the phony, the unbelievers. That's why he make you pay dues. Because anybody can sit around here and say, yeah. But when it comes time to put some money up, put your money where your mouth at, that separate people right there. Just that little $40, $60 monthly. That'll separate people, right? Because the prophet well planned this out. He know the ones that's really interested because they give up their lives. They give up their life for this. See, you can't fool Grand Sheik. You can lie to me, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me, Mo. I know. I've been faithful for too long. I can tell a phony baloney when it comes. You can't fool me with the hocus pocus and make me lose my focus. I can spot a fake and phony a mile away. Why you think there's only 5, 6 of us left? Well, I have 50 members in here. Where they at now? Where they at? Back in slavery, trying to figure it out. But they don't know Allah put a veil over their eyes and ears. They can't figure it out unless it's coming through this foundation. See, these 5 principles is your foundation. You can't, if you don't build upon a solid foundation, then what are you building upon? You're building upon sand. Just like in the Bible say, when they built that great statue, but it was built on clay feet. It was built on clay feet. See, if you're not following the prophet, you're not following his divine plan. Who plan are you following? Your own? See, your own plan ain't gonna work. Your own plan ain't gonna bring down wrath upon your head. See, you got to go according to Allah's plan. And Allah sent the messenger to let you know his plan, so you ain't even got to guess it. He gave us these instructions. If you're not following these instructions, may the flaming swords and the wrath of our forefathers strike you down, man. For turning your back on divinity, turning your back on the light, Mo. And that's what these colonizers have done. They got the light. They had a chance. See, everybody get that call. But few are chosen. Few pick up that phone. Everybody got it, though. We ain't the only ones that got the call. That's why I don't have no mercy on nobody. Because I know you got the call. I know for a fact. If I got it, I wasn't raised with this. If I know everybody had a chance. Somebody told me, man, you should go listen to the Moors. You should go to one of them temples. You should read that Circle 7. You should study that Black Slav Dictionary. I'm going to continue reading. Prophet Noble Ali knows the people within his ranks who are interested. They are the vanguard of the movement as the Moors' hordes increase here in America. All of the Moors are active, not passive. A member's interest can only be in one direction, and having traveled over the road years before, the Prophet knows where every member is along the road. See, you can tell where a person is along their road by what their interest is, what they devote their time to. See, if you're a true faithful member, your interest is only in one direction. Man, you ain't got no outside plan, outside this plan where we trying to work. I mean, everybody got their own goals. But the plan is your purpose. So what is your purpose for your goal? See, if your purpose for goal is just to be famous or to be glamorous or be seen and heard or to be, you know what I'm saying, luxury lifestyle, if that's your purpose, you gonna fail. I can tell you that now. Look how many celebrities are in jail. Look how many entertainers and rappers and actors and singers and have failed. See, your interest can only be in one direction. And you have to be active on that. If you're sitting around just waiting and you're not actively helping out, you're not actively pursuing these things, you're not a member. You're a passive member. You just standing around on your meeting period. You have to be active in this movement. We ain't no passive movement. We ain't passive aggressors. We active with our aggression. We active in pursuing these things. I'm going to continue reading. A few feet below. Now listen to this. This is my favorite part. A few feet below is another road where schemers work, where traitors grin, and culprits bask in the sun. They think they on the same road with true Moors, but the Moors are high above on the pinnacle. Where they might view the destructions as they fall for the last time and their bones bleach in the sultry midday sun. That's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. See, you got fake Moors out here, and you got true Moors. And they think they on the road with the true Moors, but they just a schemer. They just working their little scheme. They think, yeah, nobody know I can run my little scheme. They traitors. I've been traded. I've been betrayed. I witnessed it and praise Allah for it because I was ignorant. I didn't have discernment. See, the prophet know because he was betrayed. See, once you've been betrayed, once somebody ran a scheme on you, see, it makes you smart. It makes you more wise, more protective of your energy and your assets and things like that, right? So praise Allah that you go through traders and schemers. Praise Allah for those schemers and traders. Don't hate them, love them. Because for without them, you would never know your strength. You would never know how you would have overcame that. Because we on the pinnacle of knowledge. See, we got to read that about that pinnacle of knowledge, boys. Because we read about the insufficiency of knowledge. But it's the other side to that fold. That's the pinnacle of wisdom. I'm going to continue reading. Hungry scavengers, flying high, catch scent, devour and leave crying out, caviar emptor, cast out the dead carcass. The Moors high above see these plotters, purveyors, the worst that exists, hurl themselves downward by their own works as the hawks away. Islam. See, when you fly high on that pinnacle of wisdom, you can see right down on these destructionists, these people that's plotting on you, these traitors, these schemers, the worst that exists. You can see them clearly. They think you can't see them, though. They think they hide. But they ride in the sun. Because see, when the sun casts light in the midday is noon. That's when the sun sits at the highest. And when it casts that light down, man, you can't hide in no darkness. You can't hide behind nothing. See, you gotta understand you light. And when you go amongst these plotters and schemers, you're gonna see it. When you see it, believe it. Believe what you see. Because you see them plotting on you. You see them scheming on you. You see them trading on you. Believe it. Because you're the light. Islam. So caveat emptor. Tell them to beware, man. They better beware of the Moors. Because we coming. We here. Islam. Now let me go and finish off with one chapter. I know you're going to learn this, but my soul on fire with love and Holy Spirit. I found out the Moors kidnapped, and the sister reached out to me through the Instagram. Did something to me. So let's go in chapter 39. Holy instructions from the prophet. Pinnacle of wisdom. Because you got to know it's two sides of the coin. The insufficiency of the knowledge and the pinnacle of wisdom. It's not. It's chapter 39. Let me go through this quickly. Holy instructions from the prophet, pinnacle of wisdom. And the pinnacle means the highest point, right? And what is wisdom? Who knows what wisdom means? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to see what wisdom.
Islam. What did you say?
Do you know who knows what wisdom is according to the Quran? You have to go to chapter 11. Can y'all hear me out there? Y'all sound real low. Is that just my phone? Okay. Let's know what wisdom is before we talk about the pinnacle of wisdom. Let's go to chapter 11. Okay. When Jesus and Barada together they read the sacred books, the secret books. We read the secret books right now. So, no, pardon self, not chapter 11, not chapter 11. Pardon self, pardon self, pardon self. That's not chapter 11. That's chapter 7. Chapter 7. The friendship of Jesus and Lamaze. Jesus explains to Lamaze the meaning of truth. Pardon self. That's where you find the definition of wisdom. You go to verse 22. 22. 22 is a Masonic number, right? 22 says this. Again, of wisdom, what have you to say? And Jesus said, it is the consciousness of man, that man is art, that Allah man one. 24 said that not is not, that power is but illusion, but heaven and earth and hell are not above, around, below, but in, which in the light of art becomes not, and Allah is all. Islam, whew, that's some holy breath. I choked on that. So when somebody asks you what wisdom is, this is your answer, verse 22 through 24. It is a consciousness that man is art. What is art? Who knows what art is?
Art is Allah.
Art is Allah. What else is art?
Truth.
Truth, Islam. What other name do we give to truth?
Justice.
Holy breath.
Holy breath.
Holy breath. Holy breath is art. Art is Allah. And Allah is the holy breath. Islam. You on mute, Danny Murray. You on mute, man.
I was answering. I said, holy breath. You didn't hear me.
He's on mute the whole time. I could hear you. His love. So, wisdom is knowing that you are the truth. You are Allah. And you and Allah are one. That's wisdom. And it's also knowing that not is not. Not is not all. But it's not. What is not? Who knows what not is?
Not is
Who
falsehood.
say I ain't hear you? Y'all volumes low. What'd you say?
Falsehood.
Falsehood is not. That's what it is. Falsehood is not. So not can never be truth because it's falsehood. And what is falsehood? Falsehood is an illusion. It was things seem to be. See, the truth is, it's not what it seems to be. So when something seems to be a certain way, that's falsehood. It either is or it ain't. If you go to verse 3 of this same chapter, it says, Jesus said, truth is the only thing that changes not. In all of the world, there are two things. The one is truth. The one is truth. The other is falsehood. And falsehood is that which seems to be. Now, truth is art and has no cause, yet it is the cause of everything. Falsehood is not, and yet it is the manifest of right. Whatever has been made will be unmade. That which begins must end. All things that can be seen by human eyes are manifests of art, are not, so must pass away. The things we see are but reflexes just appearing, while the ethers vibrate so and so. And when conditions change, they disappear. Verse 10 say, the holy breath is truth. is that which was and is and evermore shall be, and it cannot change nor pass away. Islam. So this is the foundation we got to build ourselves upon. So the point I'm making here is this. Not is power, but power is yet but an illusion. The Europeans have the power. The colonizers have the power right now, right? They can just kidnap you at will. That's power. But that's an illusion. And that would change one day. Islam, because it's not the truth. It's not. It's falsehood. So let's go back. Now we know what wisdom is. Let's go back to the chapter of Pinnacle Wisdom. Verse 39. Anybody want to volunteer to read this long chapter?
Watch it.
Chapter 39, Holy Instructions. Pinnacle Wisdom. Y'all sound so low. Oh, I can turn y'all volume up. I can do that. No, I can't. I guess I can. Okay. There you go. Okay, I turned y'all volume up on 200. All right. Danny Muriel, you gonna lead it off? I mean, Murray Bay?
39 is page 66, right?
Huh?
39 is page 66, right?
What you got this version?
No, I don't have that on me. I have the PDF version right now.
Oh, you got a PDF version? I don't know what it is on PDF version. The title says
Mastery and subject?
Nah, not mastery and subject. No, you way off the better. Let me see. How far you is mastery?
All right. Oh, holy instruction from the prophet, serenity? Sincerity?
Nah. Pinnacle of Wisdom.
Pinnacle of
Wisdom. Still barely hear you. We gotta let Sister Atisha, you wanna read? Cause
all right.
I can barely hear you, Mom. We ain't gonna get the I turned you up on 200. I can still barely hear you. I don't know. Let me go out and come back in. Maybe it's
Islam.
Hold on. Let me come. Okay. Islam.
Islam. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's just really, really low.
Islam.
All right. Well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Both of y'all low.
It's me. It's probably me. Then I'll come back out.
Can y'all hear me? Do I sound low? Islam. We hear you.
Okay.
Sister Atisha, we hear you.
Okay. I couldn't hear y'all no more.
Yeah, see, they playing the Telegram games. Danny Murray, you on mute again.
If you can't hear me, I can read now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead and read. I can hear you a little bit.
All right. So, Pinnacle of Wisdom. As the eyes of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the owl, as the honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vultures, even such is life unto the heart of man. Verse 2. Thou bright, it dazzles not. Thou obscure, it displeaseth not. Thou sweet, it cloyeth not. thou corrupt, he forbiddest not. Yet who is he that knoweth its true value? Verse 3. Learn to esteem art, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom. This is hard to read. Verse 4. I'm sorry?
It's written in that old English.
Yeah. Verse 4. Think not with the fool that nothing is more valuable, nor believe with the pretending wise that thou oughtest to condemn it. Love it not thyself, but for the good it may be of the others. Verse 5. Gold cannot buy it for thee, neither mines of diamonds purchase back to the moment thou hast not lost it. Employ the succeeding ones in virtue. Verse 6. Say not that is where best not to have been born. Okay, let me reread that. Say not that is where best not to have been born, or if born, that it has been best to die early. Neither dare thou to ask of thy Creator, where has been the evil? Has I not existed? Good is thy power. The one of good is evil, and thy question be just. Oi, it condemned thee. Should I continue? Because this is really hard for me.
No, go ahead, stop.
I'm sorry. This is
why
hard.
You got to practice while you're at home, Mo. The more practice
Right.
you have, you'll be able to read it. Trust me, I had the same struggles.
Islam. I'll yield.
Islam. Islam. I'll pick it up. Islam. Let me start over from the beginning. As the eye of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the owl, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man. Though bright, it dazzleth not. Though obscure, it displeaseth not. Though sweet, it cloyeth not. Though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Yet who is he that knoweth its true value? We talking about wisdom. Islam, it's been corrupted. It's bright, but it won't dazzle you. It's obscure, but don't displease it. Islam, because it's sweet to you like honey to a bee, Mo. Wisdom is sweet to you like the evening shade to the owl, like carcass to the vulture. This is your food. This is what we call soul food. So when you go in the chapter on the soul of man, the soul is striving for wisdom. It's trying to get all the experience it can in this world. It want to do everything. It want to jump off a cliff to see how that feels. It want to dive out of a plane. It want to go past the moon. This is what your soul is inclined to do. So don't knock the wisdom, because wisdom is experience. See, some corrupted, but don't think it's not for you because it's been corrupted. It's yours. Islam, you have to esteem yourself. You have to build your self-esteem upon wisdom. Verse 3 says, learn to esteem as thou art. Then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom? Think not with the fool that nothing is more valuable, nor believe with the pretended wise that thou oughtest to condemn it. Islam, don't think that with the fool that nothing is thing more valuable than wisdom. Islam, like our 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Is that not more valuable? So don't think with the fool, and don't believe the pretended wise. Oh man, we ain't gotta study that stuff. I already know it. That's the pretend. See, a lot of these people on the internet, they reject the Circle 7 Quran instructions from the prophets. They think they wiser than the prophet. They pretended wise. They not really wise. Just watch their moves. You'll see that wasn't a wise move at all. It's not. It says, love it not for thyself, but for the good it may be of others. It's no good to be wise just to yourself. You must be wise for the goodness of others. Verse 5 says, gold cannot buy it for thee, neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment. The house now lost it. You can't buy knowledge. You can't buy wisdom. So people like to think, oh man, because I got money, I'm wise. Man, I'm be the most foolish, dumbest people in the world with the money. Islam, promise to God. Continue reading. Employ the succeeding ones in virtue. Verse 6, say not that it were best not to have been born, or if born, that it has been best to die early. Neither dare thou to ask thy Creator, where has been the evil had I not existed? Good is thy power. The one of good is evil. And thy question be just. Lo, it condemneth thee. Whew, that's a powerful one, Mo. Because a lot of people think it's best if they die early. Like, why would I want to live in this world? Why would I bring children in this world? And the world's corrupt. Don't think with that. Don't think like that. Because now you question the Creator. And when you question the Creator, you are being evil. Because the one of good is evil. Good is your power. You excel in doing good things. Like when you do good things, it's powerful. When you live a good life, if you live an evil life, man, you condemn yourself. I lived a life in the streets and I consider that an evil life. Even though I never hurt nobody, it still wasn't doing good things necessarily good. I wanted to do good though. See, the one of good is evil. So you can be selling these drugs, right? Because I want to do something good with the drug money. Or I'm robbing these people because I want to feed my kids. See, that's the one of good. Want means the lack of good. Want means lack. So if you say one of jurisdiction, one of good, means the lack of good is evil. It's by you wanting to do good, but you're not doing good. That's evil. You can't go out here and rob people, scam people, so you can feed your family. That's evil you just committed. The one of good is evil. Verse 7 says this. Would the fish swallow the bait if he knew the hook was hidden therein? That's a great question. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question. Would the fish swallow the bait if he knew the hook was hidden therein? That's what you mean by the one of good is evil. When you go outside and do some evil things, do you think you're going to go to jail or die over it? Nobody thinks that. They think they're going to get away with it, right? See, you don't have no power in evil. It's only power in doing good. Continue reading. Would the lion enter the toils if he saw they were prepared for him? So neither were the soul to perish with this clay. Neither would a merciful Father have created him. No, hence thou shalt live afterwards. So don't be thinking like, what's the point of me being in this world? Right? What is the point if I'm going to die anyway? Can't think like that. Because this clay, this flesh you have, you're not going to perish with it. You're going to live after this clay. So do good here because your afterlife depends on it. Islam, verse 8. As the bird enclosed in the cage before he seeth, yet teareth not his flesh against his sides. So neither labor thou vainly to run the state thou art in, but thou it is allotted thee, and be content with it. So just like a bird that gets trapped in a cage, it didn't know that that was going to happen. If it would knew it would happen, it would hurt itself trying to avoid getting in the cage. It would have tear the flesh off itself because it would probably try to fight itself out the cage and shut it in and tear off a piece of its flesh. So don't fight against nature. Don't fight against death. Don't fight against the things that's coming in your life. You know what I'm saying? Go with the flow. Because that fight you're doing is going to cause more pain, agony on yourself because you steady trying to fight for the one of good. Just do good. Just do the best you can while you can do it. Don't worry about the hard work you have to take and do it. Just do it. Verse 9 says this, though its ways are uneven, yet are they not all painful? Accommodate thyself to all, and where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. Woo-wee! Man, I love that one. That's one of my favorite ones. It says, thou its ways are uneven, yet are they not all painful. Accommodate thyself to all, and where is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. So don't go into nothing blind, right? When you think it's the safest opportunity to take, that's where you better suspect the greatest danger. When somebody offering you this great big old opportunity, right? Oh, it's all good, everything good. That's when you need to suspect the greatest danger. Just like the bird, right? Why did the bird go in the cage? Because he thought it was food in there. It was bait. So basically it's telling you, don't go for the bait. Accommodate yourself to the situation. Accommodate yourself to evil. I mean, because we're talking about wisdom. Wisdom is knowing that not is not. So you gotta know not. You gotta know falsehood. If you gullible, you're gonna fall for these tricks if you gullible out here. See, gullible is the opposite of being wise. Right? If you don't understand the evil that exists and the danger that exists, then of course you're going to fall for the tricks of a person who's a traitor, a schemer, a plotter against you. You're not going to be able to view the destruction. I'm going to continue reading. Verse 10 says, when thy bed is straw, thou sleepest in security. But when thou stretch thyself on roses, beware of the thorns. See, straw, man, that's a great analogy because roses are lovely to the eye, right? But go try to pick one out the grass. It got thorns in it. You're going to hurt yourself trying to pick a rose. That's what it means by when you see something what did it say? Whereas the less appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. Because for you to get something sweet means it's gonna have to be dangerous to get it. Meaning you're gonna have to take a risk to get this rose. You want that rose? You're gonna have to risk a thorn. So it's better to sleep on a bed of straw. Yeah, a bed of straw might be uncomfortable, right? But try to go lay down on some roses. It's painful, even though it don't look like it. That's what we mean by falsehood, what things seems to be, not what it is. So you can't go off people's reputations, right? Oh, this person got a lot of followers. He's liked by a lot of people. Suspect the greatest danger of that person. Oh, this man or this woman is fine. They look so good. Suspect the greatest danger. That's a rose with thorns. Continue reading. Now this would get me right here. Verse 11 says this: a good death is better than an evil life. Strive, therefore, to live as long as thou oughtest, not as long as thou canst. While thy life is to others worth more than thy death, it is the duty to preserve it. So don't try to do evil to keep your life going on, right? Like you see the Rockefellers, they did all these evil things, get these riches, and then they want to stay young by eating people melanin. They want to get your kidney and eat it. They want to eat the baby's blood to live longer. This is really going on. It says a good death is better than an evil life. Prophet Nobles leave us a testimony to that. He died at the age of 43. But yet his life was a good life. It meant so much to us. And your life is worth more than death. So don't just let yourself die. Preserve yourself. Because your life is worth more to others than death. You better alive than dead. Because your family needs it. I learned that in a penitentiary. Right? I learned that I can do jail. I can do life in jail standing on my hands. It's easy for me. But my life is worth more to my family being free than being behind bars. What can I do for them when I'm dead and gone? What can you do for your people while you're dead and gone? Preserve your life. Eat good. Live good. But when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. That's what it's saying. Islam, verse 12. I said I was going to go through this quickly, but I don't know if it's a quick way I can go through this. Complain of not with the fool of the shortness of thy time. Remember that with thy days the cares are shortened. So don't be mad that you can't live forever. Islam. Because the care is a burden. So the longer you live, the more burdens you have. The shorter you live, the less burdens you have. 13 says, take from the period of thy life the useless part of it, and what remains? It is a great question. Take from the period of life the useless part of your life, and what you got left? Nothing. Your life is useless. Your life is useless, more. You here for a specific reason, to overcome these devils inside yourself, right? Only thing your life is good for is what? The goodness of your family, right? Leaving a legacy, right? Leaving behind generational wealth. What is else the use of your life? All the other things are useless. And when you really tap into that, like, that vanity in yourself, like, why am I going to the club? Why am I celebrating all the time? Why am I doing certain things? What does that contribute to my life, to my family? What does that contribute to my life after I die? What did I do to change things? What did I do? What's my purpose? Did I help uplift fallen humanity? Or was I part of the destruction? Was I the main tool for the destruction? Islam, continue reading. 14 says this: take off the time of thy infancy, thy second infancy of age, thy sleep, thy thoughtless hours, thy days of sickness, and even at the fullness of years, how few seasons hast thou truly numbered? So your life is very short, so cherish it, right? 15 says, he who gave thee life as a blessing, shorten it to make it more so. See, if you live for 1,000 years, you wouldn't value your life. See, people don't value things, and that's what I'm learning now. Like, people don't value you when you're around too much. They take it for granted. But when you ain't around, man, people value you, right? Why do you value celebrities? Because you can't be around them. So when you see them, you value the time you have with them. Like, man, it's so good. Like, people have this challenge going on the internet and say, would you take $500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z? And a lot of people say, I want to dinner with Jay-Z. Why? Because they value him more than that $500K. I would take the $500K. But some people say, because they can't reach him, you can't get to a Bill Gates, you can't get to a Warren Buffett, right? So you value these people. So Allah gave you a short life so you can value it. So praise Allah for your short life, so you can live the fullest while you have it. That's why you're not supposed to put off tomorrow what you can do today. Verse 16. To what end will longer life have served thee? Wishest thou to have had an opportunity of more vices? As to the good, will not he who limited thy span be satisfied with the fruits of it? So what is the point of having a long life? So you can commit more crimes and more addictions? It's no point. The short life you have, do all you can while you have it. Don't wish to live to 300-400 years old. I be telling people I'm gonna live to 125. But judging by the lifespan of man, you see the actor just died today. He died at 60 years old. Right? The lifespan of a man is only 60 years old these days. So we need to preserve our life, but don't think you're gonna live a very long life. I'm 38 years old, so 60 is only 22 years from now. Islam, so I gotta get to living. But living good, not evil, not more vices. Islam 17 says, to what end, O child of sorrow, wouldst thou live longer, to breathe, to eat, to see the world? All this thou hast done often already, too frequent repetition. Is it not tiresome? Or is it not superfluous? So why, like, think about why people want to live longer. To breathe again, to eat, to see the world. You already seen everything. People think it's so much to see out here. Oh, I gotta get out the country. More. There's nothing more to really to see. You seen hills, you seen water, you seen sand, you seen beaches. What more do you really want to see? Islam, this is the useless part of our lives that we think we supposed to live longer to do so we can eat the best foods. Oh, I ain't ate everything yet. Ain't this things get tiresome after a while? Once you did it, you done it. Then what? Islam? Continue reading. 18. Wouldst thou improve thy wisdom and thy virtue at last? What art thou to know? Or who is it that shall teach thee? Badly thou employest the little thou hast. Dare not therefore to complain that the more is not given thee. Islam. So the wisdom and virtues that you've been given, we barely use that. We barely use the wisdom and knowledge we already got. But people want to live longer and get more and more and more so they can live longer. Just use what you got, and you will see you have a lot of it already. 19 says, repine not at the want of knowledge. It must perish within the grave. Be honest here. Thou shalt be wise hereafter. Islam. So don't repine. Don't be mad at the fact that you have a lack of knowledge of certain things. You can't know it all. If you knew it all, you'd be the all-knowing Allah himself. You would not know it all. So don't be mad at it. Because the knowledge that you got is going to perish with you in the grave anyway. So be honest here, thou shalt be wise in the life after. Because honesty to the soul is health to the body. 20 says, say not unto the crow, why numberest thou 7 times thy Lord? Or to the fawn, why are thy eyes to see my offspring 100 generations? Are these to be compared with thee in the abuse of life? So don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of other species because they live longer than you. 21 says, are they riotous? Are they cruel? Are they ungrateful? Learn from them. Rather that innocence of manners is the path of good of old age. Because these things, see, these species don't do evil things. They don't, you never see a dog be ungrateful. You never see a cat be ungrateful. They might not tell you thank you, but they show their appreciation in different ways. If you feed a dog, what will he do? Be your best friend. He would kill for you. He would try to defend your life. He would show you that he's grateful. Islam. So that's why they live longer than you. Because they have grateful. While you are sometimes grateful. Islam. We sometimes grateful. But be grateful for our life. Continue reading. 22 says, knowest thou to employ life better than these, then less of it may suffence thee. Man who dares enslave the world when he knows he can enjoy his tyranny but for a moment, what would he not aim at if he were immortal? That's a message to the colonizers who enslaved this world. They enslaved this world, but they know that tyranny is only for a moment. That's long. 24. Enough hast thou of life, but thou regardest it not. Thou art not in want of it, O man, but thou art prodigal. Thou threwest it lightly away, as if thou hadst more than enough, and yet thou repinest that it is not gathered again unto thee. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy. Meaning, having more life doesn't make it more valuable, but how you use your life makes it more valuable. because day by day we waste time, right? But yet we mad that we ain't got enough time in the day. Ain't that something? People complain it's only 24 hours in a day, yet they waste the time that they do have. Think about that. Every time you waste time, I only got 24 hours a day, so I can't complain that I only got 24 hours a day if I'm wasting it. 25 says the wise continue to live from his first period. The fool is always beginning. The fool is always beginning. The fool always talking about, man, I can't wait to live. I can't wait to begin this so I can live my best life. No, you've been living since your first period. Once you begin to live your life the first time, the wise man know it don't get really no better. You already living your best life because you alive. You had an opportunity to eat, breathe, see the world. You already got that. Continue reading. 26 says, labor not after riches first, and think thou wilt afterwards enjoy them. He who neglecteth the present moment throw away all that he hath. As the arrow passeth through the heart while the warrior knew not that it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before he knoweth that he hath it. So don't wait to get rich to live. Enjoy it now. Some people say, man, they live so miserable. I talk to people that's live in misery. And they say, man, if I had this, if I had that. Man, you don't need that to enjoy your life. Just be grateful. Be grateful and content for what you do have. That's how you're going to get more of it. When you live a grateful life, then the riches and things come. It don't come the opposite way. You see these people that's looking lucky to you or rich, that's because they're grateful. When I listen to millionaire stories, they all have a similar gratitude about life. They appreciate the grind. They appreciate the hard times they went through that make their character. They enjoy themselves. Like if you ever go to the trenches, you will see the little ghetto kids enjoying themselves. They're not rich because they just grateful. Just go outside and have fun. Islam, continue reading. 27 says, what then is like that man should desire it? What, breathing? That he should covet it. Is it not a scene of delusion, a series of misadventures, a pursuit of evils linked on all sides together? In the beginning, it is ignorance. Pain is in its middle, and in its end is sorrow. Ooh. 29 says, as one wave pusheth on another, till both are involved in that behind them, even so succeedeth evil to evil in the life of man. The greater in the present swallow up the lesser in the past. Our terrors are real evils. Our expectations look forward into impossibilities. Whew. So if you do evil, evil gonna follow you, right? If you're ungrateful now, you're gonna be ungrateful then. It don't change one day. You know what I'm saying? Unless you change it. This is the delusion that you have. Your expectations being too high, you chasing impossibilities. What we mean by impossibilities, like people think when I get rich, I'm gonna be happy. When at the end of the day, happiness don't come from the riches. So if you're not happy now, you can't buy the happiness. Islam, continue reading. Verse 30 says this: fools to dread as mortals and to desire as if immortal. What part of life is it that we should wish to remain with us? Is it youth? Can we be in love with outrage, lasciviousness, and temerity? Is it age? Then we are fond of infirmities. So which part of life do you want to keep with you? You want to be young forever, or you want to be old forever? See, you enjoy your youth while you was youthful. It's over. Don't wish it back. You can't be young again. You had your time. I tell people this: you only a child once in life. You're an adult forever. Right? You're only a child for 18 years, and the rest of your life you're an adult. So enjoy your adulthood. Don't wish, man, I wish I'm still young. No, why? You you want to be back with outrage and lasciviousness and temerity? You want to be dependent on others again? You want to live your life ignorant again? You want to be back vulnerable again? Because that's what you was when you was young. You just didn't know it at the time. So enjoy your life. That's what it's saying. Just enjoy the time you got. 32 says this: it is said, gray hairs are rivered, and length of days in honor. Virtue can add reference to the bloom of youth, and without it, age plants more wrinkles in the soul more than on the forehead. 33 says this: is age respected because it hateth riots? What justice is in this, when it is not age that despiseth pleasure, but pleasure that despiseth age? Ooh. 34 said, be virtuous while thou art young, so shall thine age be honored. Islam. So if you live a good life, you build up a good reputation in your life, and you will be honored at an old age if you do the works. Like what we doing right here is virtuous, high morals. We building our life on high principles and morals. So the work we doing, establishing this government, when you be an old man and your great grandkids can reap the benefits of your actions today, 30 years from now, you will be honored because you lived a good life. You did the right thing. You didn't waste your life. You didn't wait until you got rich to start trying to put certain things in motion. We don't have to get rich to get the land. Man, y'all, I wish I can show y'all the memes I just had this week. Man, our lives is working in our favor. I met real estate agents and things that told us, Warren, you know how close you is to getting that 10 acres? You a handshake away. 700 credit score, you gonna get it. They guaranteed this to us. We not far from our dreams and goals. So it's like, don't wait until we get into that situation and think we have to live our life according as government officials. No, live it now. Ain't no waiting around. Ain't no putting it off till tomorrow. Carry yourself with gratitude that we even in the Moorish Science Temple. We even got this life. We even know we even have a prophet. Because a lot of people don't even know. They gonna go to their grave ignorant. But you've been given the light. You've been given the light. Be grateful for the little light that we have. So what? We can't discharge all our bills yet. We can't do everything that's that said it can be done. But you're gonna get there with the pinnacle of wisdom. But if you're not grateful, if you're not virtuous right now, if you don't have this wisdom about yourself right now, you're not gonna have it later. Islam. So I'm gonna close us out with those readings from the Prophet Islam. Anybody, I'm gonna open the floor. Anybody got anything to ask, comments to make? Sunday school will be held on schedule, 1 p.m. Sister Artisa, you still won't be able to give your portion of understanding on Sunday school? Are you prepared?
Islam.
Islam? I can barely hear you. You say yeah?
Islam.
Islam. Did you hear me?
Yeah. I'll be here on Sunday.
Okay, Islam. Right, so we're gonna close that out. Wednesday, civic class, 7 p.m. What other announcements? Oh, I did get that donation from you, Danny Murray Bay. I have received that. As long as I get right up on top of your status correction. As long. What else? If you ain't getting nothing from today, don't waste no more time. Obtain as much knowledge as you can. Study as much. Don't waste time in things that's useless. Because when you are old age, it's gonna count. When you did all these things while you were young, because we all young here, we ain't old enough. So while you do all these things while you can, 20 years down the line, just imagine how much knowledge you have obtained, how many things you have done for your family. We start infinite banking right now. We doing status corrections right now. We changing the dynamics, the course of our life right now. So imagine you going on this course for salvation now, for sovereignty. Just imagine in 20 years what this is going to look like. Even 10 years, even 5 years, right? We don't got to wait till we die to have heaven on earth. Wisdom is knowing that heaven is inside you. Hell is inside you. Earth is inside you. That's what true wisdom is, and knowledge of self. The insufficiency of knowledge of how you live in the hell right now. It's happy holiday. So take this day and find a reason to be happy and grateful for your life. Be happy that you have to work for the knowledge. Be happy that you're going through your trials and tribulations and your temptations. Be happy for them. I'm happy Allah made me addicted to certain things. I'm happy that I have to overcome that fight. I'm happy. You know why? Because it made me stronger than I was before. So with that, I'm going to close out the meeting. With a reading from the Prophet, Moore's literature, to be proclaimed at every meeting. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me in the movement, now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials in the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is the faithful ones that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me in the movement will be remembered. This is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes from jealousy. Because of my family ability, the nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet, noble Jew Ali. All rise for the closing of the worship. Face the east. Heels touching. Feet at a 90-degree angle. Spread your wings at a 90 degree. 5 to the left and 2 to the right. Repeat after me the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Ali. Amen. Salvation, Allah, Morris. I leave in peace and I came in love, Morris. Peace and love, Islam.
Peace and love, brother. Peace and love. You have a great night. Thank you so much.
Islam. You're welcome. Happy weekend, Islam.